Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome. I'm Tony China Deeds. Welcome to episode, I think it's 5 now. I'm going to be doing things a little bit different with the show and the episodes, because normally it's just me talking about things in life, whatever I see, or whatever I deem necessary to talk about. Except from now on, I'm going to review one video from YouTube from now on at the end, because I've been watching a lot of these videos, and some of these are just so funny for me not to review. In fact, I'm going to have one at the end of this clip. You'll see it, and it made me laugh nonstop. But in today's episode, I don't have anything like morally to talk about. So instead, what I'm going to talk about is I'm going to talk about something that happened to me in the past. It was a time and the only time where I was pulled over by a helicopter, undercover cars, and like 20 squad cars. And I'll explain the situation. You're probably like, oh my God, what'd you do? Didn't do that much, actually. All right, so me and my friend, we're driving in a white Nissan Altima. We're driving on the freeway, and as we're driving on the freeway, for people that know me, they know some things that had happened in the past with my life. I wasn't always a good kid, so understand that when I'm telling you the story. Basically, as we're driving down the freeway, I looked to my homeboy, and by the way, I was drinking Coronas. In fact, I probably threw back maybe a few Coronas. In fact, in my hand, I had a Corona, and I was drinking it. So we're driving down the freeway, and I'm kind of drunk. I was pretty drunk, actually. And I turned to my homeboy that was driving. I'm in the passenger seat, and I told him, I said, hey, we're being followed. And he was like, oh, we're not being followed. You're just drunk. You don't know what you're talking about. So I said, okay. So I waited until we got off on the exit on Charleston. So we get off of the 95 on Charleston. And I told him, I said, dude, you're being followed. No, we're not being followed. He was like, okay. So we're driving down Charleston now, and we're up on Nellis. And I was like, dude, you're being followed. He's like, no, you're not. I was like, watch, make this turn. So we make a turn, and the car headlights is behind us, follows us. So I tell him to make a couple more turns. Sure enough, turns the same way. Now, because of my past, I normally know when I'm being followed. I don't know why. I'm just a very observant person. So he's driving. He's like, oh, well, where should we go? So I tell him, okay, we'll just go down the street. So we finally go into, at the time, which was my little residential area, and we turned in there, and I told him to turn in there real quick. So when he turned in there, in my head, I'm thinking, okay, just in case I'm getting rid of this beer because we don't want open alcohol inside of the vehicle. So we hit the corner. When the other car couldn't see us, I freaking throw the Corona out the window, and it lands in somebody's yard, whatever. Somebody found it later. And all of a sudden, the car comes speeding behind us. It's just chasing us now. And my friend is just zigzagging, and we're just trying to get away. We don't know what's going on. Maybe we're about to get robbed. Who knows? You know, we've been robbed many times. A lot of things has happened to us in the past, especially me. So anyways, he asked what we should do, and I said, okay, well, let's go down our homeboy's neighborhood. And I was going to either try to call him or contact him because we don't know what's going on. So basically, we make this turn, and we make another turn, and all of a sudden, boom, freaking flash of light from the sky. And immediately when that happened, I knew it must have been a chopper. And as we're pulling around this corner, and spotlight's on us, I, at this point, am freaking wasted. I'm pretty, like, 90% sure it's the cops now. And all of a sudden, the car that was behind us flips on lights. It was an undercover car. And as we come around the corner, I'm not even joking when I say this, there was like 15 to 20 police squad cars blocking off the freaking street. We had like M4s in our face, shotguns, 9mm. We had a bunch of stuff just aimed at us. So we hear this guy on the loudspeaker because we pulled over at this point. Blah, blah, get a driver, get out your car, put your hands through the window, the whole freaking cop thing, right? So he does it. I'm not really listening to what's going on anymore because I'm really drunk. So next I hear, passenger, put your hands out the window. And again, I was drunk. You got to understand that. And I yell out the window, what? And the cop he told me again, put your hands out the window, da-da-da. I want you to take freaking, what do you say? He said, get out, turn to your left, take 2 steps to the left. It was just a bunch of directions. And again, I'm drunk. I'm not going to be able to follow directions. So I get out, And he tells me to walk one way, and I accidentally walk in the opposite direction. So now he's yelling at me at the loudspeaker. All the cops are getting ready to freaking, like, they're getting ready to shoot me. And I'm getting a smart mouth with them at the same time. So anyways, they finally get me in front of the car, like they're telling me to walk in this certain way, and I walk over to the front of the car. And he tells me to get down on my knees, lay down on my stomach. He tells me to put my leg inside the kneecap of my other one. Well, the directions he gives me, he tells me to take a certain amount of steps, get on my knees, and turn to the right. Well, I don't know. Again, I'm drunk. So I get on my knees, I go down to my stomach, and I look to the left, and my homeboy's just sitting there pissed. He's so mad because he's like, oh, my God, you're going to get shot. He's like, the other way, motherfucker, the other way. So I turn my head to the other way, and I'm laughing at this point, and all of a sudden, like, freaking 4 cops just tackle me. And they're putting cuffs on me. Okay, you want to get smart with cops, da-da-da-da. And I'm still getting smart with them. I'm saying stuff like, well, I couldn't hear you. What do you want me to do? So anyways, they put us in cuffs, and they pull us up. They're searching us. He's like, do you have any weapons on you? And I was like, okay, well, I have 2 knives on me. Because I used to carry weapons back in the day. So anyways, so the cop is like trying to talk to us, and I'm trying to hide the fact that I'm drunk because I'm underage at the time. And they're going and running our plates. They took our driver's license. And the undercover cop that was behind us originally, Latino guy and a black guy, he comes over to me. And he basically explains why we're being pulled over and why the hostility. And this is what he says to me. He says, oh, we're looking for this guy. This guy beat his wife and then stole her white Nissan Altima. And we thought you were the suspect. And not even missing a beat, I looked at him. I said, well, you were following us for quite a while. You would have ran the plate. You would have realized that we are not the same person. So I don't know why you'd be saying that. He's like, well, why were you guys driving so erratically? I told him, I said, well, because you guys were chasing us. You didn't turn on your sirens. You didn't let us know on the megaphone that you guys were police. You know, they didn't do any of that. He was like, oh, okay. So anyways, he's sitting there just explaining what's going on, and I'm basically making the cop eat his words, you know, because it's just stupid. He asked me at one point if I had anything to drink, and I told him no. It was real apparent that I was, face all red and everything. So anyways, there was a couple more things that were said. I got kind of a smart mouth when it comes to people. I just can't remember them. What else happened? So finally, when they decided they were going to let us go, he took my knives. He was like, okay, it's inside the glove box, and you guys can go, but just keep the knives into the glove box until you pull away. And this whole ordeal took probably about 45 minutes, an hour. Well, right after we get done, on my cell phone from my homeboy Richard, he calls me up, oh my God, you guys aren't going to believe this. The cops are down my street, and they got these 2 guys, da-da-da, and he's like explaining the situation. I'm laughing about it. I'm like, that's us. That's us, homie. So, yeah, he's sitting there talking about it, and we were trying to get to his house when we thought it was just somebody trying to rob us. But, yeah, that's the story of what happened, and this was only one of the things that happened. I mean, we had a lot of different things that I could talk about, some amazing stuff that happened, some things where I should probably be dead. But we won't talk about that, and some things I can't talk about, period. But what I am going to do now is after the story, I'm going to review a video. And the thing to know about this video is there's going to be 2 clips. The very first clip is going to be of the actual video. Actual video is pretty funny in itself, but the thing you got to remember is what somebody did is they took that clip and they turned it into something else, and that made it even funnier. So I'm going to go ahead and do these clips for you and just watch it, and it's hilarious. All right, peace out.
Chega com uma pedra, uma faca, qualquer coisa assim, queira lançar isso em vocês. Eu estou na frente dele, posso dar vai pedra. Se eu avisar, se prepare.
Alright, did you hear the noise that guy made? That was just epic. I watched that over and over when I first saw that. I was cracking up so hard, and then I ran into another clip. This next clip is going to be the same thing, just somebody remade it. I can't really say anything else about it. Just watch it and try not to laugh. In fact, if you can, I dare you to leave a comment down at the bottom and tell me that you didn't laugh, and I will call you a liar. All right, just check it out.
Pedra, uma faca, qualquer coisa assim, queira lançar isso de vocês. Eu estou na frente dele, posso usar ele posso usar ele posso usar ele posso usar ele posso usar.
If you having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. I got the rap patrol on the